Yo, what's good, world? Um, I just wanted to touch on a few things. I know a lot of people are watching my city of Minneapolis over the course of the last year up until now. Um, so me being that I'm from here and live here, I just wanted to go over like what life was like here, how it's been for people in general here, and what it was like during the whole trial, after the trial, and before the trial, with Derek Chauvin and the murder of George Floyd. Um, there has been countless people that have died by the hands of police in the state of Minnesota. It's not just catered to Minneapolis, but it goes further in the St. Paul and Ramsey County and all of that. So being from here, growing up here, like, you just get fucked with by the law. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just get harassed by the law. I would say, being a person of color, they are going to pull you over. I've been pulled over for air fresheners in my car before, like literally. But yet I see a lot of other people driving freely. My mom, who is white, she'll drive freely with all types of stuff dangling from her mirror. But there's definitely a double standard here. You know, you do have to act a certain way. You do feel pressure when you do get pulled over by the law here, especially in different cities outside of Minneapolis, like Richfield, Bloomington, New Hope, Crystal, Robbinsdale, yeah, all of that. I would say you're gonna get harassed. You know what I mean? And I typically try to stay out of them areas because I smoke weed, all that. So I'm not trying to be harassed by the law. I don't even really like living here compared to living in LA. Police out there got shit to do. Out here, you're a Negro in a city of white folks. It's like 14%. And shit, they come pick on you because they ain't got nothing else to do. So, with that being said, there's been countless murders. Philando Castile was one that really was affected me personally because it had been a lot of different murders like Jamar Clark and other murders throughout the whole country, which is interesting why they are focusing in on Minneapolis and not the whole country, having to reform the policing and the justice system. But, with that being said, I think when the trial was going on, they didn't really go into Chauvin's history too much, which was interesting to me. Because I feel like if they went into Chauvin's history, it would have brought out a lot of other bad apples in policing, and it would have sparked more of an investigation into the police department and policing. And I don't even think that officers would have even been willing to testify as witnesses because it would implicate themselves. Being that Chauvin was under people. He was under, the chief of police. He was under these people, and he had a history of, rendering somebody unconscious before, and nothing happened. You know what I mean? Like, he's still policing. He's still out there. So I just found that to be the key thing that they tried to stray away from, but really didn't have to. Well, maybe they did because the witnesses that they had, like the chief of police, maybe wouldn't even testify because they would have gotten into his history and how long he's been a police officer and how long he's had infractions on his record. Um, so yeah, that's just one thing that's lacking in that case that I feel is going to reverberate and still, there's still going to be bad police because they need to do a thorough investigation of the police, to weed out anyone that has multiple infractions and need to do like a mental analysis on these people before they even join the force and do a history analysis of these people of what background they come from. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just very interesting that Chauvin's house, like, you can watch a few of my videos on my channel to see what the state of Minneapolis was after the Chauvin trial. After George Floyd was killed and the video went viral, the whole city burned down. That's on my video. That's on my YouTube. If you want to type in "I Can't Breathe," there's countless videos that depict and have all the content that I was shooting while witnessing the riots and the protests and all that and all the gatherings. But it was real interesting to know that Chauvin's house where he lived at was about 30 minutes away, 35 minutes away, which is a far distance in Minneapolis to St. Paul terms of where he was actually policing. He didn't know these people. Police used to be the next door neighbors, you know what I mean? Police used to be people that, would recognize you in the neighborhood and would deal with you accordingly, would know you by first and last name, familiar, and was familiar with you. So there would be more or less, police brutality and misunderstanding, miscommunication. But yeah, Minneapolis is, if you Google Minneapolis, Minnesota, what it worst places to live for black people in America, Minneapolis is one of them. You can Google that fact. Like, you can Google that statistic, and it proves that these motherfuckers is murderers. After the trial, you got to see the facts and the proof that these people are murderers. What they're going to do about that, I don't know. You know what I mean? And that's, people need change and they need it now, you know what I'm saying? So, it's going to be really interesting to see how much time Derek Chauvin actually gets. But we got to see, man, these officers really are murderers out here in Minneapolis, Minnesota. They terrorize black people out here, man. Like, I have post-traumatic stress disorder. I've been to Ramsey County Jail. I've been to different jail cells just growing up, being a person, you know what I'm saying, making mistakes young. And I see how, they treat you in jail. I see how they treat you not even being in jail. Outside of jail, you're guilty until proven innocent. That's just the energy you get from the law out here. I will say, some police is cool. They not all bad, but a majority of them, especially in Minneapolis, like, usually Minneapolis police is cool. Like, I've been pulled over smoking weed before, and they wasn't on shit with me. Like, and this was years before they had got rid of that decriminalization or the criminalization of marijuana in Minneapolis. So they was cool to an extent, man, but they also wasn't cool. Like, I remember getting pulled over, they thought I had stole my own car. You know what I mean? Back when I was like 16, I had a Bubba Caprice on Dubs, and the police rolled up on me, and we was smoking hella weed in my car at the time, watching a movie on my little in-dash, and they caught us off guard. I had hella smoke in the car, evaporating when they had made me roll down the window. And they're like, yeah, we got calls that there's a stolen car in this proximity that you stole the car. I'm like, man, this is my car, man. I gave my ID, all that. You know, they will try to, fuck with you. But once they see that you're not really on shit, then they usually back off. But in George Floyd's case, they didn't. In Dante Wright's case, they didn't. You know, and it's gonna take a lot of investigation and money to get these motherfuckers drained out, like really draining the swamp of bad police out of Minneapolis. You know, they starting to call it the Jim Crow of the North. You know, to me, Philando Castile was still the worst murder that I've seen, because going into the man's history, he's actually a good person. He's a good dude. He, was a community. He was serving the community. Working with kids and being at lunch with the kids and serving food, whatever he did. So that one was crazy as hell. Like, he literally didn't do nothing, and he got killed in front of his daughter and his girlfriend, and that was just wild as hell. Like, and then nobody did nothing about that. Like, we shut down 94, shut down a couple of highways, that was it. And what the police love to do here is, I'm gonna tell you this also, Minneapolis, Minnesota is one of the highest tax cities for citizens to live at, for civilians to live at. This is one of the highest taxed states. And it's because of the roads, it's because of snow, it's because we have to maintain this shit during the wintertime and the change in the seasons. But it's also because our police keep killing motherfuckers, and we have to pay that, being the taxpayers' dollars are what pays the police as a public service, as a public good. So, man, this shit gets real deep, man. It gets real political, and it gets really to the higher ups. There's a lot of people that are calling the governor, like, man, what are you doing, man? Like, you're not charging the officer in Dante Wright's killing. All of that. It's just crazy. But, to see the rioting and to see all of that, and just to see where we're at as people, it's like we living in LA and Minneapolis. Like, Minneapolis is bad right now. It's just bad. The whole Hennepin County, it's just bad, yo. Like, the crime rate's crazy. I moved further out. I'm out the way. But it's fucked up out here, man. And I don't really know if it's ever gonna get better. Y'all asking about Chief Keef videos, man. Chief Keef videos, they up there. But yeah, another thing is, this just further leads me to believe that I need to get off grid. Like, I can't be stationed in the metropolis area. Like, I need land. I'm getting on that Kanye West shit. Like, I need land and I need acres and resources, because I can't live within the confinements of what this society is proposing right now. It's just ridiculous, man. Like, go outside and you get killed just for being you. Just for being you. And I hope this officer gets 40 years straight up, because I didn't think he would even be charged with anything. The way America works and the way Minnesota works, I definitely thought Derek Chauvin would have got off. Like, this shit's still mind-boggling to me. But it's just furthermore proof that I was right. These motherfuckers is racist killers. And they holding us back, man. I need to go off grid, man, and start my own little commune or something. Get my own land, farmland, all of that. But, it's hot right now. It's spicy. Emotions is high in Minneapolis. People are not feeling good because it's a bittersweet moment. We just had to bury Dante Wright. Yesterday is his funeral. And then there's a lot of interesting factors that come into play. Like, there's a lot of opportunists coming around Minneapolis and coming around people of lost ones, like this Benjamin Crump dude. I feel like he damn near an opportunist, like trying to get money off these settlements. You always see him right when somebody get murdered by the police. He the first one on it, trying to get that settlement, man. So it's a lot of opportunists out here, man. It's a lot of crazy shit going on, man. Crazy politics and money dealings and all of that. But said it to say, man, I'm just trying to maintain on the right path. I hope everybody out there being cool, everybody out there safe, you know what I mean? You know, I just wanted to chime in on what's going on here, what we seeing, what we feeling right now out here, man. It's just wild. It's just wild, but you know, it's life. It's gonna get worse before it gets better. Hopefully it gets better. You know, that verdict that's not gonna bring, it's just crazy because they try to manipulate the world, like tell the world this man died of a drug overdose, he had a bad heart, all these things, and it's like, nah, fam, you really killed this dude. Like you really just killed the man. And then Chauvin, there's something wrong with the dude. Like, he didn't have no emotion on his face at all during the whole thing. Even when he was getting sentenced, he looking around like, did I turn the stove off at the crib? Did I turn the light? Did I make sure the lights was turned off at the crib? The man was wondering, did I turn everything off at the crib? Because I'm not going back to this motherfucker. That's what Chauvin's look was on his face. That's the only thing he looked like he was concerned about. Did I take the trash out before I left? And what does that mean if I didn't? Like, so just to see him act like it was just a normal day, he probably think he gonna file appeal and get off and do some fugazi shit, but it's not gonna work, man. It's over. And hopefully they give him the right sentence and hopefully it's not that lenient. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I feel just a little bit safer driving to Minneapolis. I feel a little bit safer. But still, I don't, because I know their nature. You know, I know how they get down. So, with that being said, I'm out, man. I hope y'all have a good weekend. Stay cool. All of that. Love.